All right, and we're live. Welcome all to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike, and tonight we're doing the 4th of July special. So, if you have your guns, if you have, county land, I recommend getting some blanks and shooting in the air. And if you have county land, if you don't do that. You'll get in trouble.
Get some bottle rockets.
Maybe we should all do despots.
Maybe we should do despots. That's right.
I got a cop across the street. That's probably better.
I do have.
I can despot myself into county lockdown over the weekend. Maybe I don't know.
well, Travis, in your case, I recommend getting a cap gun. You could probably get away with that.
I might have something floating around here I can use. I don't know. Let me see what I can find.
Tonight we celebrate the 4th of July and the founding of our great country. So we're going to talk about some Second Amendment related topics tonight to celebrate the 4th of July. So why don't we talk about what's going on? We're going to talk about what's going on with our European brethren over there in Europe, specifically Travis's cousins.
That's right. Aunts and uncles and cousins. Who knows?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Czech Republic tonight because last week they just set up a bill that got passed to basically they're starting the foundations for their own Second Amendment, technically. So, you guys have a couple of the news pieces. So why don't we get right into this? Which one sounds the best or has the most information? Because I know Cycle Camp, I know you've got some. Travis, I know you've got some. And Jimmy is just here for the ride, but that's okay. It's Jimmy.
What time for the booze?
Do you want to read the whole thing, or?
Well, no.
I got one that's about a page and a half.
Yeah, why don't we go with that? Why don't we keep it short, and then if we want to get into more details, we'll get into more details, right?
Yeah, I've got one, and Travis, the paragraph you pointed out to me is the last paragraph. So if you want to pick that one up, I think that'll be great because I think it's a great paragraph.
Sure. I mean, it's yeah.
So I'll run through the top and leave that one for you. So basically, this is an article by Chris Tomlinson that was on the 29th of July, so it was just today. Czech lawmakers have passed legislation in the lower parliament that would see the right to bear firearms enshrined in the country's constitution in a move directed against tighter regulations from the European Union. The legislation was passed. This is beautiful. 139 deputies agreeing to the amendment to the Constitution, with only 9 deputies voting against. So it was pretty much a landslide in the lower house. The amendment will now be considered by the Czech Senate, where it will require a supermajority. So that's pretty much like we do it for constitutional stuff, of 3/5 of the members in order to pass the law, which is 60% for those of you that don't do math. This is similar to the U.S. Second Amendment to the Constitution, which gives Americans the right to keep and bear arms. The Czech legislation reads, citizens of the Czech Republic have the right to acquire, retain, and bear arms and ammunition. The guy is a little left-leaning. He says the amendment also notes that the right is there to ensure the safety of the country, similar to the provision of a well-regulated militia in the American Amendment. Of course, we all know that because of the comma, the well-regulated militia does not directly bear on the right, but that's okay. Whilst the new law will enshrine the right for Czech citizens to purchase and own firearms, members of the public will still need to acquire a weapons certificate. Interior Minister Milan Chovanec said the new legislation was directly aimed at an EU directive from March, which sought to prohibit semi-automatic firearms and magazines that hold more than 10 rounds for pistols and 20 rounds for long guns. I wonder where they got that idea. We do not want to disarm our own people at a time when the security situation is constantly worsening, Chovanec said. The Czech Republic actually has one of the largest rates of firearms ownership in the EU, with an estimated 300,000 gun owners who own around 800,000 individual firearms. Laws around gun ownership in a Central European country are also far less restrictive than other EU countries, with 240,000 of the 300,000 gun owners having concealed carry permits, and self-defense being a recognized reason for firearms ownership. So actually, they seem to be a little bit ahead of us in that regard.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No, because they recognize the right across that entire state of self-defense being a recognized reason for firearms ownership. In other words, it's not like our may issue states where if you're not, very well connected, or you just already got beat up and barely survived, they won't give you a permit like California.
I know you've lived a troubled life in the Northeast, cycle camp. But remember, I live in a shall issue state.
Right, but I'm just saying that here's a country where the whole country is individual self-defense is a good enough reason for a concealed carry permit. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, my question is, because we've done this in the morning where we've gone over like other countries and their laws and stuff like that. I think it was because somebody said that there was other countries that had better American or better laws than America or something like that. Anyway, my question is though, is what would they have to do in order to get that permit? Is what kind of hoops is it that they have to jump through?
It's probably something similar to what we have to do.
Well, I've thought that too, because you were there, I think, but we actually saw something we saw some countries that it seemed like they were better laws, but then it got down to the comments and it was saying about how it was almost impossible to get a license or get a permit. So that's why I'm wondering, would they be somewhat similar to that, or would they be more similar to us?
I think for I'm gonna guesstimate here. Okay, so I'm gonna guess what they'll do, because they haven't gotten done and it hasn't been voted on, into its entirety yet. But what I assume, and I'm just making a blanket guess, that what they'll do is that it's similar to whatever their driver's license is, and then just tack on some form of criminal check to make sure that they're not, the person getting the license isn't a criminal in their system already.
Right.
And I'm sure they have a system like that already if they have all those guns in their country in the first place. And if not, you know what? If all it is where you have to pay a fee and they're like, here you go, here's your card. I'm all for that too. Either way, I'm all for it. As long as people are able to defend themselves and defend their country from terrorism and the like, I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I'm exact same way. I'm happy for them and all that, but my question is would there be a catch for the actual citizens?
Well, I think the only catch is that it's not the way they've got it written isn't entirely like the Second Amendment, nor is it they've got loopholes for where they could probably restrict it later on if they want to. Not that I'm all for restricting, but at the same time,
I mean, a step forward is a step forward, though, I guess.
Well, it's more of a step forward than most of Europe, which is taking 10 steps back.
Exactly.
The Czech Republic is going 10 steps forward, where the rest of the European Union, which, actually listens to the European Union governing body, is taking like 20 steps back. Because they want to take more guns away from the people who haven't done anything wrong, instead of punishing, the immigrants that aren't really immigrants, that are fucking refugees in Europe.
Well, that's really a good segue. Travis, why don't you read that last piece about the expected next Czech Prime Minister?
Yeah, so this is Andrej Babis. He's expected to become the next Czech Prime Minister. He completely rejected mass migration this week, commenting that and this is his quotes: "We have to fight for what our ancestors built here. If there will be more Muslims and Belgians in Brussels, that's their problem. I don't want that here. They won't be telling us who should live here." And I'm guessing that's a response to the European Union. And so that's just, pretty much sums up what they're trying to do.
Yeah, so enshrining the right as part of their constitution is really giving a big middle finger to the EU policies of we tell you what to do because you're part of our union.
Yeah, but I will say it is nice to see another country in the world that is trying to adopt some form of Second Amendment, like in the United States, where it gives me the feeling that somehow, some way, we're having an impact on the rest of the world in some way. You know,
Well, I mean,
and I mean a positive impact. I don't mean like negative impact. We're having a positive impact by preserving our Second Amendment and saying that in order to have, a republic or, a democracy that's free, you have to have a Second Amendment in place.
I mean, maybe the world's starting to wake up now. You see all these terrorist attacks that they've had, and you've had all these attacks in Europe. Nobody's got a way to stop the bad guys. And I think they've just had enough. They've just finally decided that the safety of their citizens is more important, and that's what they're going to do.
And they're not using handguns. Those guys are using the real bad stuff. They're using full auto AKs and all kinds of stuff. And people need to be able to defend themselves.
Right. Absolutely.
I did do a little research while we were talking about permits, concealed carry permits, and I have some information about concealed carry. Unlike most European countries where permits to carry a concealed weapon is only issued to individuals who demonstrate a specific reason, in the Czech Republic, it is a common part of the citizen's right to own guns, and every holder of the Category E, which allows them to purchase stuff, is allowed to carry a concealed weapon after the formal approval is given. No justification is needed. And then they go through you can't carry at courts, demonstrations, mass meetings.
Right.
Considered irresponsible to take them into clubs or bars, even though it's not explicitly prohibited, just like in Connecticut. But carrying a gun while drunk is illegal, and that's okay. That's just like Connecticut, too. Schools and campus carry, not prohibited by law. There are no so-called gun-free zones. And they have to be carried concealed. No more than 2 firearms for self-defense can be carried by one person. For special purposes, open carry can be allowed by the police. Carrying a concealed weapon is not the subject of controversy in the Czech Republic, probably because in reality it doesn't cause any trouble because it's concealed. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is actually pretty awesome. I would just a little bit more details on what their process would be, but that does sound awesome.
Well, let's be honest. It's nice, as I said before, it's nice that we're showing a positive impact on some countries of the world, and they are starting to realize that in order for their country to be safe, they have to adopt some form of amendment in their constitution or their founding document that allows for their people to protect themselves and the state.
Yeah, or they could just end up like, the mayor of England or Britain or whatever saying, terrorists, the stuff is going to happen. We're going to just have to deal with it.
Yeah, no. I refuse to just deal with it. I'm not going to deal with the government taking away my shit. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
The minute our government here in the United States tries to take away anything from us again, I swear to God, I am taking a stand. I am protesting.
Speaking about taking things away, am I seeing this right? Was there supposedly a magazine ban that went into effect in California last night?
There was. Well, not last night.
Yeah.
Tonight. 2 nights ago or last night?
Tomorrow night. I'm sorry. Today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you're ruining the effect that we're doing this on the 4th instead of.
Now we got to start over. Good job.
Take 2.
Good job, guys.
Edit it out.
Okay, yes, we re-recorded this. We were recording this on Thursday of the last week in June because we are all busy doing other stuff on the 4th of July. So they ruined it, but so thanks Travis P11 and Cycle Camp for ruining the
I didn't say anything. No, I was just talking about him. I guess I did.
Oh, that was my bad.
Thank them for ruining the mystique, but all right.
My bad.
Look.
But
July 3rd, I'll probably be shooting guns anyway.
It is effective July 1st.
All right.
And as far I read one article where one police station said one person dropped off a magazine, and that magazine, they didn't have the gun, they just had the magazine lying around from when they bought the house. Apparently, they found it tucked in some corner or something.
Okay, so here's the question I got about this law. They put it into effect. Nobody turns in their magazines, but let's just say you get pulled over. You're coming back from the range. They search your vehicle. You got 4 30-round PMags in the trunk. Are they gonna have to cite you for it? Or are you then automatically gonna get nailed?
You're automatically sent to prison.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are keeping them, but they're not going to leave the house with them because they're going to be worried about being seen with them in public or being pulled over. I mean, unless you got a place you can shoot at where you're going to be able to avoid human contact between here and there. Because I'm thinking about like the Daily Shooter videos. You guys watch the Daily Shooter. He's in California.
Tal Flatermouse is also in California.
Are these guys going to start using 10-round mags in their videos?
I doubt it. They use shotguns mostly.
Late breaking news. Judge blocks California ban.
Oh.
A federal judge is blocking the California law set to go into effect Saturday that would have barred gun owners from possessing high-capacity ammunition magazines.
Where's this?
I found it. It's Fox News, so who knows how true it is. It is
Fox News, FAUX News.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like something that they would fake, though.
Nope. San Diego-based U.S. District Judge Roger Benitez said in a ruling Thursday that the law banning possession of magazines containing more than 10 bullets would have made criminals of thousands of otherwise law-abiding citizens who now own the magazines. Preliminary injunction backing the legal challenge by, guess who? The National Rifle Association and its affiliate, the National Rifle Association affiliated California Rifle and Pistol Association. The California Attorney General Javier Becerra, who is defending the state law, did not immediately comment. This happened like an hour ago. The judge says the law approved by voters in November takes away gun owners' Second Amendment rights and amounts to the government taking people's private property without compensation, which, by the way, is prohibited by the Constitution.
Yeah,
this is true.
Lawmakers passed a similar law last year banning magazines, and guess what? That one got blocked too. So that's great to hear.
I want to see this.
People are not worried about it.
It's in the side chat.
Oh, side chat.
You want me to give it in the side chat? Wait a minute.
Yeah, here we go. But this will have to go to court now.
Well, yeah, of course.
So then does it put the ban on hold until the court case is settled?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, it looks like we
Liberty
found the same
boys.
article. Isn't that cool? Hooray!
Yay! So there's that. That's good to hear. That's very, very good to hear. I thought they were going to let it go. So that is very good. All right. So what else are we talking about now? Okay. Why don't we jump into what's going on with Steyr or Steyr? How do you pronounce it? Do you know?
I've Americanized it Steyr, but I'm sure it's Steyr AUG. I don't know. I really don't. I guess I've always called it Steyr, but I don't know Austrian or whatever. So
it's Steyr.
What happened to Cycle Camp?
It's probably Steyr. We have to check the Military Arms Channel video because he's the only person that's got enough money to afford one.
Ooh, snap.
Hey, no knocking on him. I love his channel. I'm just saying,
All right.
They start around what, $2,000?
Yeah, Cycle Camp jumped off, so it's just us three now.
Okay.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, but either way, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Steyr Arms, or however they call it. There he is. There he is.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Steyr open.
Steyr Arms.
Hang on a second. Let's get Bill real quick. Recycle real quick. Steyr or Steyr?
I don't know. I've always pronounced it Steyr, but
me too. So I'm just going Steyr.
German.
Yeah.
Steyr Arms, however the hell you say it, is moving their manufacturing from Austria to Alabama. This is just a new move. I'll read the thing. It's not too long, but gunmaker Steyr Arms announced plans to relocate manufacturing efforts for products it sells in the United States from Austria to Alabama. The gun company said it will invest $2.9 million to build the manufacturing component to its Bessemer facility, according to a statement by Birmingham Business Alliance. While the effort will add up to 10 jobs, the investment will mainly include buying new equipment for producing and assembling firearms. The company expects to complete the project by June 2019, but manufacturing on-site will begin later this year. This is the company's second major investment in Alabama in 5 years. Steyr Mannlicher, the head company headquartered in Austria, invested $1.7 million to relocate U.S. operations from Trussville to Bessemer in 2013. Since the company has doubled its workforce to 15 people, Steyr president Scott O'Brien. Wait. They're an Austrian company. How the hell do they have a president named? Sorry.
Dollars to donuts. You're pronouncing it wrong.
I'm going to say Scott O'Brien because I don't know.
Was he just the president of U.S. operations?
He may be. This expansion represents a great deal of trust in our operations in Bessemer on behalf of our parent company. Okay. City and state officials applauded the effort and attributed the announcement to a positive business climate. The secretary for the state's Commerce Department called Alabama an ideal location for gun manufacturers. Steyr Arms' decision to add a manufacturing component to its operation in Bessemer shows that Alabama provides an ideal environment for firearms manufacturers, along with many other manufacturing businesses, he said. So that's what's going on with them. So they're moving to Alabama.
Mind if I do a screen share real quick here? Nice Strike, is that all right?
Yeah, well, as long as you're not doing any of Yankees midget hookers, we're fine.
No, I hope nobody sees this as being offensive, but I just think this is cool. What do you guys think?
Beautiful.
Black
I like
just in time for winter. Just in time for winter. Do you guys see that? The black and white and black hog.
Travis, you're going to be angry at me, but I only like black hogs.
Oh, geez. Well, once you go black,
You August.
Once you go black gun, it's a lot more fun. Yeah.
I don't like
What's that?
Magazine.
Yeah, I know that those come standard with it. I don't know if they're PMAG compatible. They might be their own standard. I remember reading a review about those in, what was it? American Rifleman Magazine did a test on that. I can't remember if those are proprietary or if they only take GI Steel mags in that particular like waffle transparent. That's the same transparent mag they've been packaging them with forever. That one might be clear instead of kind of an off yellow color like they normally are.
Okay, so we got some more information on the licenses in the Czech Republic. So right now, the license types they have are no carry, holders of a license, Class A. I guess we'll call it the Class A license, may only obtain and possess firearms. Also, those filing into the Class A restricted guns category, subject to being granted a May issue permit, and are not allowed to carry them. Okay, so that means they can own them, but they can't carry them. Okay, they got a Class B license, which is a transport-only license, which means that they may only transport their firearms to and from areas designated for sport shooting, so target practice. The firearms must be transported in a closed container and in a manner that excludes their immediate use, so probably in the trunk. Meanwhile, holders of the Class C hunting license may too transport their firearms only to and from the areas designated for hunting in a manner that excludes their immediate use. Again, probably in the trunk. In case they use public transportation, the firearm must be also transported in a closed container. Otherwise, it may be transported, carried, unloaded openly. Well, that's interesting.
Okay.
So they've got a Class D, which holders of Class D and E. Class D is exercise of suppression. Class E is self-defense. This is concealed. This is their concealed carry category. So, a Class D and E license may carry up to 2 firearms ready for immediate use, bullet and chamber. The firearm must be carried in a concealed manner. The requirement of concealed carry applies also for D holders of restricted firearms. Now, example, private security with full automatic firearms. Okay, open carry. Okay, only the members of municipal police and the Czech National Bank Security, as holders of D license, Class D license, exercise the profession, may carry their firearms openly while on duty. Members of state police, prison service, and other government security agencies do not need any gun license and are required by other laws to open or conceal carry while on duty. Open carry may be allowed by police for special occasions such as gun shows, war reenactments, or Liberation Day celebrations. These are, however, technically referred to as public display of firearm rather than carrying. Each person that wishes to display a firearm must submit a request detailing the given occasion and firearms, their protection against theft, etc. Also, during these occasions, the police can often conducts inspections on gun holders regarding their respective paperwork and intoxication testing. So, yeah, it is still a bit restrictive in the Czech Republic, but the upside is that possibly they may expand these license types to fit with their new law.
And you can have full auto. Isn't that cool?
Well, hold on. You remember what it says? What does it say? Full auto.
No, they just said you couldn't open carry it unless you had D.
Concealed carry, holder D, exercise a profession of restricted firearms. Example, private security with full automatic firearms. That means if you work for a private security firm, probably a private military company or probably a security guard company that owns fully automatic firearms, then you can use it. I think that's what it's saying. It didn't say that for the civilians.
And they are tough. You were asking about what you have to do to get one. They are tough. There's a theoretical exam, written test, 30 multiple choice questions. There's a practical exam where you have to demonstrate safe handling and take a shooting test. There's also a health clearance. You have to get an okay from your doctor saying that you're not like subject to strokes and seizures and stuff. There's a criminal integrity check, and there is also a personal reliability check where they make sure that you're not a drunkard or a drug user or disturbing the peace or stuff like that. A 3-year period usually is like that.
Right, but this is before.
That's pretty cool.
This is before they go in and enact that law, that constitution.
Right, but I don't think that'll change. I don't think that'll change.
I think they may open and they may add probably more licenses on to or amend the licenses they have for to fit more in line with that new constitutional amendment. But either way, that's still a step forward.
Oh yeah, it's good. And by the way, it's a shall issue. If you don't have a disqualifier, you're getting your permit.
Yeah.
I was reading
also,
that.
You're going to like this one when you move there. Shall issue to foreigners from NATO countries, assuming we're still in NATO at that time.
Well, we probably will be.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
let's be honest. It won't be NATO without North America, and North America includes the United States of America and Canada.
Right, so Canada will still be there because they're slow. But the bad news.
Hold up. I have to say this because somebody's brought it to my attention. And Mexico, even though they're not much use.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. They are North American.
Well,
that's true.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but no on that one.
So the bad news is the written test as well as the practical exam has to be taken in the Czech language.
Oh man.
Well,
God.
They may change that down the line because
I know they already changed it because up until the 31st of December 2011, you were allowed to use a sworn translator or interpreter. Since been forbidden. So
here's
basically,
the thing.
You want to carry a gun in our country, learn the language.
Bill,
cool.
Psycho Camp, here's the thing. I have a few friends that I play video games often with, they live in the Czech Republic, and they're actually Czech themselves. And here's the thing. A lot of people in the Czech Republic know English. They speak English as well. It's one of their second languages.
Yeah.
So they speak English. I know.
The point is, if you want to take the test is in Czech.
So you need to know how to read the.
Yeah, you got to be able to
read the Czech language.
The Czech language.
Well, let's start studying now.
And the practical exam are only given in Czech.
Well, it's similar to German, so you might be able to fudge it.
So, Night Strikes, would you say that your friends check themselves before they wreck themselves?
Because guns like that is bad for their health.
Oh my God!
Cheaty, check yourself before you. Who's saying that?
And if they work for a magazine, are they press checks?
Oh God! Hold on, I got something for that.
That's right. That's right.
There's probably
It was
a cream.
IQ, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh boy, sigh.
I love the internet.
I hate the internet sometimes because you have Jimmy.
Yeah, I am here.
Hold on, here it is.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Quiet but effective.
Hold on. I gotta. There we go.
There it is.
There you go. So,
Nice.
yeah. Thank you, Jimmy, for ruining a good moment.
I try.
So Smeggy's not here tonight. Here's the thing. I got some flack last night. Apparently, some people did go and leave us some feedback on why they didn't like the video last night. And apparently, some of our viewers don't like Smeggy.
What? Where's this all coming from? I'm
I
confused.
find that hard to believe.
Who would hate
No.
this?
No. Apparently, I'm going to go and read the comments. So hold on. Because I have to, because I found this
Well, it's
amusing.
not really fair to read them when the guy's not here.
Well, I'll let him.
We'll defend him.
You should
We'll
wait.
find
That should be your after the your next run here.
We'll act on behalf of his legal counsel. So wait, this is from Matt's podcast last night?
No, this is from Hit or Miss the other night. I mean, Hit or Miss last week.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. It's like our show. This is guy. His username is Hail Team. He said, "Show looking good till Smeggy showed up. The thumbs down are because of Smeggy. He takes over the show and is loud and obnoxious. Look at your shows. When he's not on, you have less thumbs down. He ruined Yankee's show a couple of weeks ago. Not trying to be mean, but it is what it is."
Sounds like a troll, though, kind of.
An SOS guy goes and says, Smeggy needs to grow up, shut up, and stop saying like, dude, and fuck in every sentence.
Well, I say fuck in every sentence.
Wow. Wow.
Well, Smeg was having a bit of a rant that day, so it's not like that all the time.
I thought he was making some valid points. I mean,
I
I
thought so too. I thought he
man, I was feeling the sermon, dude. I'm telling you.
We had a good show that week.
I thought
I don't
so.
know. But I will say this, Smeggy, we still love you. Even though you're not here and you didn't show up for Hit or Miss tonight.
That's right, man. Bro's got to hug it out.
I'm giving you the death beam eyes, but we still love you.
Hey, Strike.
Poor little snowman.
Yes.
It's your show. You can have anybody on it you goddamn well please.
There you go. There you go.
Holy shit.
If the
Mind
guy doesn't like it,
blown.
he can start his own show.
That's the point. That is the point. But I don't want to run my viewers off. That's the issue. I enjoy our viewers. I love hearing from them. Sometimes their criticism is a little mean-spirited, but you're gonna get mean-spirited comments no matter what. So,
The hell, sometimes we are.
yeah, sometimes I get it from you guys instead of the crowd.
Yeah, that's right.
Shit, I can't buy anything from anywhere anymore without telling you guys. I'm not telling you guys anymore, by the way, either.
Well,
I'll just tell you what I got. I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. So fuck y'all.
Start habit sending like nondescript, just brown boxes showing up at your door. You can get the covert deliveries so your neighbors don't find out who you're getting your gun supplies from.
Yeah, more or less. Let me see.
I got a topic that was kind of like a couple
Hold
days
on.
old.
Hold on. I know you got a topic, but I have to put this out there because since we're doing a 4th of July special, I do need to mention that if you haven't done so already, go to PalmettoStateArmory.com and check out their 4th of July deals. Their deals are pretty good this year. I would say it's better than last year because they've got those 20-inch uppers on sale for $199. If you want to build an AR-15, now would be the time to do it because there is a great sale going on from PSA for their 4th of July deals. So if you want to get a rifle, build an AR, I recommend doing so. All right. So with that aside, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Jimmy? What are you looking at?
Just posted in the side chat real quick. It's a possible, because I've heard it from a couple different places. This is the firearms blog. I heard it on TGC, and there was a MSS that I heard it on, but possible ban on importing Vepers.
No, it's already been banned.
Okay.
It's already been banned. You're a little late to the party, bro.
Well,
Yeah. So, what else? Yeah.
We're going to talk about the electronic weapons ban.
Yeah, why don't we talk about that? What's going on with that?
So you mentioned that it got revoked in Tacoma, I think you said?
Yeah. On Tuesday, Tacoma, Washington reversed their ban on stun guns. The council voted to repeal an ordinance which banned the manufacturing, carrying, or purchasing of a stun gun within city limits illegal. The only exemption to the ordinance were law enforcement officers, correctional officers, military personnel, and animal control officers. Ultimately, the legal department made a recommendation to the council to remove the ban on stun guns. Assistant City Attorney Keith Etcherling told Fox 13, and we're getting this from Bearing Arms, by the way. The recommendation to remove the ban comes after last year's Supreme Court decision that overturned Massachusetts' ban on stun guns. The Supreme Court's decision protected stun guns and tasers as a means of self-defense under the Second Amendment. Earlier this year, the Firearms Policy Coalition threatened to sue the city if they did not reverse the ordinance, citing the Massachusetts case. The taxpayers and residents of the city of Tacoma would be well served by an expeditious repeal of the outdated and ill-advised subject ban, FPC's initial letter said. Now the ordinance has been repealed. Men and women in Tacoma can protect themselves without using lethal force. I think it's obvious the city knew they would lose any court challenge, and they wisely chose to repeal this law, said Philip Watson, Firearms Policy Coalition's Northwest Region lobbyist and spokesperson. We're not done taking on bans on arms protected by the Second Amendment. So that's what's going on in Tacoma. And didn't you say another place also unbanned it?
There are a lot of places that have been doing this. In February of 2017, Annapolis did it. And now Baltimore, which is in that same general area, is also looking to do it. And in mid-2017, New Jersey did the same thing because a judge threw out their ban. So everybody's getting on the bandwagon except New York. So in March, the Attorney General of New York said if plaintiffs want a ban on tasers and stun guns lifted within New York, they should seek to do it the old-fashioned Democratic way, which I guess means bribe their congressman.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty much.
So and to be honest with you, I'm not sure this is such a good thing, because I'm not sure I would carry a taser. First of all, you got to get too close to use them. Second of all, the civil suits, because the people live. So the civil suits are just, and the chances of you getting arrested for assault are just way up there.
Well, I have to ask how if they're already a wanted criminal, or if they're a criminal already on the books, and they get tased and arrested, do they really have a precedence to go and sue another person because they were trying to do something illegal in the first place?
Well, yeah, but you're making the assumption that people always use them for illegal. I mean, what if first of all, what if, God forbid, you tase somebody and they die? And you honestly were trying to use non-lethal, but they die anyway because they have an unknown heart condition or something. But
it's not your problem.
Is, what if there's just like a nut job or something, and you tase them, and life is good, and then he and his whole family sue your ass? I mean, it's bad enough when you get tased for shooting. I mean, when you get sued for shooting somebody and you kill them, but I just see the civil suits going right out of the deep end. If they don't pass a concomitant blanket defense for that, it could be a real problem.
Yeah,
we tried to do that in Connecticut this year with guns, and we didn't get it through.
Well, let's be a little more upbeat on here, okay? So
Somebody has to point out the downside of some of this stuff.
I know, but here's the point: if you're gonna carry a weapon concealed, I would recommend carrying an actual firearm as opposed to a stun gun, because a stun gun is nice, but Bill just pointed out a very good point. If you live in a state that has castle doctrine and stand your ground, don't bother with a stun gun, because it has unnecessary repercussions. But granted, carrying a firearm also has necessary repercussions depending on how you use it. As long as you use it properly, as you were taught and trained, then there's no problem. But if you're dumbass and you do dumb things with it, well, then realize that if you're being a dumbass, guess what happens?
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for it severely.
Exactly. So don't do stupid shit. That's all I'm saying. But
I can see where a lot of people, though, that don't want to shoot a gun, this is a great opportunity for them.
Well, I would figure maybe if they had like an actual taser, like something that threw out those little electrical projectile prong things or whatever. But I don't know. I kind of, like I was saying, I used to laugh at those little flashlight taser things that they would sell over at the swap meet. It was like, I don't know. I just thought that type of stuff was a gimmick.
Yep. Now I'm going to go
close enough to touch them.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to move on to another topic. Apparently, there's a new bill that would allow veterans to possess certain machine guns. Okay, so basically, what it runs down to is they're possibly opening up the NFA to have to give people 180 days of veterans who have brought back guns and never registered them in the 80s to register them during these 180 days so that they're on the registry and their family can keep it. But this is only for veterans and their families that have brought the firearms back before October 31st, 1968.
I got a question for that, for the panel. How many people do you think are going to fall for that one?
I don't know. And yes, this is registration, but this is also means that if somebody's grandfather brought back an STG 44 and didn't register it during the 80s and it still works and runs properly, then they could go and have it registered.
You look at it like that, or they make damn sure that it gets taken away after the said person is registered to, dies, and it goes to a civilian family.
Yeah, well.
Instead of maybe they keep it even though it's a little bit illegal.
Or they register under a trust.
That is true, but then still, I mean, would they be able to own that firearm?
Technically, if they registered on the trust owns the firearm, provided that the people, the beneficiaries in the trust are able to and allowed to own said guns. That's with the new laws that Obama did that Trump hasn't gotten rid of yet. But that's the point I'm trying to make. There is leeway for it, but at the same time, I understand this could also be seen as more registration. But at the same time, if if people who own these guns have them lying around, and the police come in and investigate for any reason, if they see that, and that family doesn't have a license for it, or the tax stamp, and they're up shit's creek regardless.
I'm thinking they want to keep track of guns that they lost track of.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, I can see your point, but I don't know.
I'm saying it's good in a sense, but it can also be seen as bad because it's more registration. We don't want registration in our country.
Exactly.
But the issue is there is already some registration for some firearms already. So, we either have to get that repealed, get the NFA repealed, or we have to work within the system. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm not real happy about the 1968 cutoff.
I'm not happy about the 1968
cutoff. I think that's specifically to start excluding AK-47s.
Yeah, it excludes AK-47s that are brought back. They were brought back from Vietnam. It excludes, some other stuff that was brought back from other places as well. So, oh well. But I figured it would be interesting to mention it. But again, unfortunately, it's one of those gray areas, like we said. So there's that. But I figured we mention it because, it's good and bad.
It's worth a law-abiding citizen, as long as there weren't any special restrictions hoops I'd have to jump through, where if I went to register it and instead of getting it registered, they took it away from me, I think I would be okay.
Yeah. Same. But, yeah. Anyways, that's about it. We don't have any questions tonight to answer because nobody's sent in us any questions. So if you are out there listening or watching this later on, please go and email us questions and ideas for the show, comments, even suggestions, whatever. Email us at nightstrike1@gmail.com. That's NIGS. It's NIGHTSTRYKE1@gmail.com.
He almost spelled it right.
Yeah. I've got you got 5 minutes before the hour, so I've got something I could use some help with if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Let's go on.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Most of the time I carry a pocket 380. But I used to carry a single stack 9. And I'm thinking about going back to another single stack 9, but the problem is the one I have today has a safety on it, and I don't like guns with safeties for personal carry. So I'm more interested in one with no safety, either a hammer with a decocker or a double action only striker. And I was looking for people to recommend the smallest ones they knew about.
I don't know about small, but my wife has that Glock 43, and I've carried it before a couple times. The 42 is a little bit smaller on the grip frame and on the barrel.
380?
No, the 42 is. I had both. I've had both before, and the 42 it was really unmanageable, but I got kind of a little fat part of the bottom of my hand where the magazine comes out at, so that was always a problem. But the 9, it was a little bit too big for pocket carry.
Jimmy's got fat hands.
But the 43 and 9mm, it's a little bit harder to pocket carry because it's bigger, so you're gonna have problem on your initial draw. So I would suggest inside the waistband, but I mean that you could work on that trigger and get it to how you like it, heavy as you want, light as you want. And I mean, it's a Glock, dude. Honestly, you've heard me before talk about Glocks; they'll work. And you could put plus P through it. I mean, it'll pretty much eat whatever you dump into it.
Yeah, I heard that either I'm trying to remember if it's a shield or the bodyguard comes in a double action only single stack.
Those are good, dude, but you would actually it's hard to explain. You would either love the trigger or hate the trigger. It would be one or the other because it has that kind of a hinge trigger. So if you have the possibility to get hands on one and you can actually deal with that trigger, I don't mind it. So if you could actually deal with that trigger, you're golden, and you're saving money too off of a Glock 43. I think they're going out here for about maybe 450. Yeah, about 4.5. Yeah.
Would
So,
you recommend the Shield or the Bodyguard?
I would probably go Shield and get it in 9.
Yeah. I mean, you want to hurry up and get it while you can get the good discount on it too. My stepdad just bought one, and I think he paid $225 after rebate.
I'm gonna throw one out there. I'm not too sure on it because I haven't used it myself, but I've heard good things about the LC9S. Have you thought about one of those?
Yeah, that's the bigger one than the 380, right?
Yeah, yes, and it's in 9mm.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a lot bigger though.
Now you said you're looking for, you said 9mm single stack. Is that right?
Yeah. I currently have a PT709 Slim, and I love the gun. I shoot it real well, but it's got a safety on it.
Have you considered going with the car? I've got a car CT9, but they've got smaller versions you can get, like a CM9, which is 6+1 9mm. They're about 1 inch thick. I mean, they all basically use the same similar frame and slide. All the car models do, all the C series. I mean, if you look around,
how is that thing for ammo? Like, is it pretty much fed everything so far?
Yeah, I fired Freedom Munitions Reloaded brass through it, and I fired Federal brass, just bulk ammo from Walmart. I don't fire steel case ammo through my pistols. I just don't. And it fires Federal Champion with no issues at all. The only thing that's a catch about this, and I talked about this on Heavy's Friday special, when you charge the first round, because of the slimness of it, the feeding ramp's actually at an angle. The first round that you charge, you have to do it by releasing the slide stop. I know it sounds crazy, but if you pull back on it and let go, it almost preloads the shell. It says in the instruction manual, you have to charge the first round by releasing the slide stop. And I fired.
Might go off or something? Like, I don't understand.
No, it'll jam. Like it won't have enough forward torque to the round goes up at just a slight angle because of everything is offset to the left a little bit. It matches up on the sides, but because of the thinness, the extractor's kind of off to the right a little bit and the barrel's off to the left a little bit. I mean, it all lines up. It's weird. You'd have to see the design to understand it, but when you chamber the first round, you have to I've tried top charging it and releasing it, and half the time it won't load the first round, but if you do a slide release, it does.
Okay.
And I've never had a problem like putting another mag in it. I always use the slide release on that. I'm just trained to use it but the manual is the only gun I've ever seen that says that it's recommended that you use a slide release for it.
Well, I mean,
slide stop, I'm sorry. But they're relatively inexpensive. I've fired Hornady Critical Defense and have no issues at all. It has no problem. I mean, they're very well machined and polished inside too, right from the factory. CM9 is going to be kind of similar to a Glock. Oh, it's going to be kind of like a 43, but smaller. I mean, like I'm just looking at my local gun store. I could get one for $362, and that's going to be 6 rounds. It's 5.4 inches long. It weighs 14 ounces without the mag, but it's stainless steel slide, and then it's got a polymer frame. Triggers are just butter smooth, though. That's the one thing I love about it. It's just very smooth all the way through. Yeah. Adjustable sights. But
yeah, the shield is cheap, but it's got a thumb safety, so that takes it out of here.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get a shield without a thumb safety. You can buy them without for $225 after rebate.
No, but that means it's not a true double action gun.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Guys all the time.
You know, maybe check the cars out and see what you think. There's a possibility that yeah.
All right.
Out of those cars, do they come with any kind of like a magazine extension or anything like that? Or
no, I don't believe so. I mean, my CT9 is a 8+1. There might be something out there you can get like a +1 or +2 mag extension, but it's not. It's hard to find a lot of accessories for it. But I mainly bought it for its thinness, and then also, a couple reasons. It's thin. It has a larger trigger guard on it, so in the wintertime I can actually wear thin gloves and still shoot it, whereas I couldn't do that with my my CPX2, which don't ever buy one of those. And the trigger is nice, the thinness, and what's the and just the CT9's got, you can get a nice two-handed purchase on it. And so for, I mean I daily carry, I know you can't pocket carry it, but even the smaller ones I think would fit your hand really well.
I don't know, Travis. You should have gotten it. You shouldn't have gotten rid of the Jimenez. You should have kept that and gotten rid of the Sky.
Oh, I don't have the Sky anymore. I gave it to my best friend. Now let me explain. I got a brand new slide and barrel from complete slide and barrel from Sky. They've actually changed the feed ramp on it, the angle of the feed ramp, and they've modified the extractor, and they've got a stronger extractor in it now, so it won't wear out quite as quickly as the old ones do. Because yeah, by 1,000 rounds, my extractor was already shot on my CPX2.
What about the pins on the frame walking out on you?
That ever since I glued them, they have not come back out. Yeah, okay. I installed them one time, and then they started coming out. I tapped them back in. They started coming out. Called the factory, installed the oversized pins without glue, and then I used a Loctite that you can use with plastic. It's safe to use for plastics.
Yeah.
And and it has not walked out since then. Ever since I put the oversized pins in with glue. So
nice.
Here, let me get my camera on here real quick. Do we have time?
Yeah, we got time. I'm gonna go get something to drink. So go ahead and do all you're gonna do.
Cool. All right. So let me see what we got for lighting. Okay, so I've got an empty mag. Okay, I've got a snap cap round. Okay, got a unloaded CT9. I was going to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to see if I might be able to chamber the first round. Okay, this is the snap cap round. Empty gun. Okay. All right. See if I can do this. Okay, it did chamber the first round. All right. I don't know. Just the manual says that you shouldn't, but.
Was it one of those things where it could be like a fluke every now and again kind of thing?
I can't really show this without putting just the way that the feed ramp is in the front of it. It's actually it kind of goes off to the left just a little bit more than and you kind of looks like everything's offset to the left, but it actually lines up, when you're pointing it and shooting it, it's very accurate. It just uses just a 2-dot system for the sights. Just a little.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You just line the 2 dots on top of each other and that's it. So, I mean, I love it, man. I paid $330 for this one. The CTs are cheaper because they've got less machine work in the slide. And they use rollers to put the imprints on the slide instead of laser etching it. So they save about $100 on that. But it's been a good gun. I mean, I really like it. It does not have a double strike capability. So if that's a big deal for you, Now it does say that there's like a 200 round break-in, but I've never had a problem with it. I mean, I got a shooting video where I put my first rounds through it, and I did fine with it.
Oh, would you trust that to carry it?
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, yeah. This thing it's fine. It's gone boom every time I've used it at the range. Yeah. And I mean, if I run quality ammo, I like critical defense. I've never had a problem with this in other handguns. I have this in every handgun in the house. I spent a small fortune on personal defense ammo. Mainly, I just like the little polymer tip that they put on the hollow point so that it'll penetrate through fabric before it starts to expand. So
yeah, well, that's what see. That's one of the things I heard about the 380, the little pocket 380 version, was that it was having trouble feeding certain hollows.
Oh, see, I don't know. I'm not sure
about that.
Yeah,
but I mean, I've heard nothing but good stuff about the 9, though. But I mean,
yeah. And I've never had to call customer service or anything like that. But I'm just saying, if you want a slim single stack 9, and I mean, you're going to spend a little bit more than you would with the Shield, Yeah,
that's true. Well, then, I mean, I don't know. You spend a little bit more, but you say you trust that thing though. But Glock.
Yeah. Oh, I've never. I mean, I even one of the guys said, "Yeah, well, I heard that that when they get cold, the firing pins don't work." So I actually took mine and threw it in the freezer for a half hour, and took it out and dry fired it, and it still fired the striker just like it was supposed to. So I don't know. There was I guess a couple of years ago, somebody had a problem with theirs, like freezing up there, carrying it out in the winter, out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what the deal was, and apparently it didn't fire when it needed to. But I mean, if you have enough oil and lube on your gun, when you get down below freezing, I think you can have that problem with just about any firearm.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my little rant on it. I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, I'd like to. I probably should take it out to the range more. I guess I fired it enough that I feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I hear you. I would. I mean, you're going with what you know. I guess I would go
Yeah.
with what I know.
Yeah.
But those are kind of cool little things, and for the price, man, I might, check one out.
Oh yeah. No, they're good little guns. And those that I think the warranty on them is only 5 years on the cars, but I mean, like I said, I haven't had any problems with. They've been around since the '90s. I mean, if they were garbage, you think that they probably would have disappeared by now. You know?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, they're still on the
Yeah.
market, dude. They're still on the market. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Trying to see what they all. I'm looking on the gungenie.com to see what they have to offer, but they've got some different coats that they came out with now, some different finishes and stuff. So,
Now,
yeah,
what do those things hit
CT9.
on the used market? Do you have any idea?
What's that?
I said, what do those things hit for on the used market? Do you have any idea the price?
I don't know. Like I said, I paid $330 for mine, and that came
Dude,
with two
that's
mag.
awesome.
No, it only came with one mag.
That ain't too. How bad are the mags?
They're not. You can get them on eBay for $20 delivered.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, because I ordered one extra mag to carry with me in just in a little mag pouch. So no, they're readily available on eBay. You don't even have to. They like it. Yeah, that's part of the problem is there's not a lot of magazine options for it. But no, it's a fun little gun. I mean, they're smooth shooters. If you ever get a chance to try one, do.
Oh yeah. Hey, do you ever run any of those ETS mags in your Glock?
Me?
Yeah, those.
No. The only ones I've ever bought are just the Magpul one.
Okay.
The factory. I've got 3 factory, and then I've got 3 or 4 of the Magpul ones because I can get them. Oh God, for like $16.99 locally, $17.99 locally. They're pretty cheap, so I just pick them up whenever I feel like buying one. And I've never had a problem with them. I mean, I drop them at the range when I use them. I've fired plenty of rounds from them, never had an issue. So
Nice.
I have you seen reviews for the ATS ones at all?
The ETA, yeah, they're pretty sweet. I've actually gotten the chance to shoot a couple. My nephew has a couple in his Glock, and they're pretty sweet, man. And I'm thinking they just came out for the 43. That's what made me think of it. I believe it's
Oh.
a 12 rounder, I believe, and so I'm thinking about grabbing a couple of those.
How much are they selling for?
About give or take taxes and whatever, $30 if you go to a store. I'm not
okay,
sure about
okay.
online. I'm sure 20, 25 in that area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not
So
bad. No,
not horrible.
I know there were some problems with the Magpul mags when they first came out for the Glocks, but I might have never had any issues at all. And I mean, I don't always have good luck with my guns. I mean, I've had a lot of bad luck with my guns. If you watch my videos, man, I've had problems with, guns jam and guns having issues.
That fucking saga with the Sky, man. I was like, holy crap.
Oh yeah, that was a whole season. I did a whole season of episodes on that one. And the funny thing is, after I got that slide check, I went to the range and put 100 rounds through it the same day. I think I even assembled it at the range because I took the package apart and did everything right there, and then went right up to the line and fired it. Did 100 rounds, no problems, and then I took it down to Texas, and that's where my friend lives. And I said, all right, here's the deal. I said, I got a new slide, a new barrel. It's a whole all the components in the slide are brand new. So we're going to put 100 rounds through it, and if it's okay, we have no problems at all, then I'm going to go ahead and we'll transfer it over to you. He's like, that's cool, because him and his wife are just getting into guns now, and it was their first time at a firing range. We actually had a really good time. His wife, I took the Glock 17 too, and she fell in love with that. Naturally, they wanted that instead, but I couldn't give them that. But I didn't even sell it to him. I just said, you can, if it works, you can have it. And so we put 100 rounds through it. We fired Remington UMC. Their Walmart had a really bad selection of 9 that day. There wasn't much in stock. So we did Remington UNC and I think Winchester White Box. And it ran 100 rounds with not a hiccup. I couldn't even get through 2 magazines before without having FTEs. So that was 200 rounds we put through before I left it with them. And we ended up loading it with critical defense anyway. So, I mean, it would probably fire if it needed to. Yeah. And so I don't understand. Go ahead, man.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, that's how I am too, dude. Like, I'll pretty much get whatever's at the store. If I'm going target shooting, I want to know that my gun will be able to take anything, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I was even just gonna I usually get the Federal brass because it's normally the cheapest stuff. Now I think they have it for $10 a box, but it was like 13 or 14 at the time. But they didn't have it. They had aluminum case, they had Tula, they had Remington UNC and Winchester White Box, and that was it for 9mm. And Perfecta, and I have bad luck with Perfecta. I don't know if it's hard primers. Perfecta 9, I've had problems with it in my Glock 17, at a Ruger 90 that just while one per mag, you'd have a failure to fire. It would light like a light primer strike on it. I don't know. And that's just in the 9. I've never had problems with their 223 or their 45 or their 380. I have no idea.
Well, I can't really speak because I've only had about maybe 2 boxes of their 9 before. So yeah, I can't really talk on it, but I mean, it ran good.
You know, maybe if you fire through something a little bit beefier, like a Beretta 92 or something with like a nice hammer fire, you know, something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It might fire it better, but I was surprised. It was the only time I ever had issues with my Glock 17 is when I was using that stuff. But hey, I got to practice, you know, FTE issues and stuff at the line, so that was good.
Always,
you know,
always a good thing, yeah.
Heck yeah. So, but no, yeah, that's pretty much what my experience is so far. But yeah, I left that with them, and they were going to take it to the range, and I told them, I said, if you ever have problems, I said, this time I will call them for you, even though it belongs to him. I will call them, and we'll just send the gun in and be done with it. Tell them we want a new pistol. Because that'll be 4 phone calls, and I can't even tell you how many rounds I put through that thing diagnosing problems. So, the CPX2. Yeah, I could never, as much as I'd like to buy one in one of the different colors, I could never trust myself to get one. And I got people that comment on my videos, and they say, man, they're like, I put 5,000 rounds through mine and never had a problem. I'm like, how? Hell, None Fancy did a test on his channel, and he had the pins walking out. He had problems with his. And that was just like 2 months ago when he did his video. And I only watched it because I was curious to see if he would have the same issues I did. Now, why he gets more views on his videos than me, I don't know, but I'm not bitter. So.
Well, yeah, but but honestly though, I've seen like 4 or 5 videos of your stuff, man, because my wife was kind of interested. They had a pink and nickel slide one.
Oh yeah.
She was kind of interested in that one, and I'm like, well, you know, for the price, you're probably barely going to use it. Why the hell not? So I started looking into it, and then just oddly enough, you started doing videos on them too, and I'm like, holy crap, everybody's having the same problem.
Yeah.
Screw this gun.
Everybody except Such, and Such is I'm not going to say what he is, but I love Such, but it's like the bastard sold me on it, because I buy a lot of the guns that Such has shown in his videos. I just do. I mean, I have. It's been coincidental a lot of the time, but he didn't have any problems in his video with his, you know. Oh man. Yeah. And then the funny thing is, if you watch the evolution of my videos from beginning to end, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. And then I did one range test. I did that versus like the PT-111, and boom, I started getting FTEs. I was like, well, this is unusual. This doesn't normally happen, you know. And I was getting like, at one point it was doing it every round in one of my mags. And that's when I called up about a new magazine, and they sent me the replacement, and then it still did it. I still had problems with FTEs. And then I noticed it was doing it in the other 2 old mags. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like a bad gun quality wise when you look at it and hold it. The finish is very nice. They use, you know, high quality components in the slide. I don't know so much about the Zytel polymer. They should go to something different. But I'm just disappointed that they haven't fixed the problems that they've had, you know?
Yeah.
All the money they make out, they're actually moving. And the funny part is they're actually moving, or they've already moved to, where the heck were they? They were in Daytona. Now they're moving to Tennessee. Because Joe Roebuck, the founder, the owner, or whatever, he claims that they can't find a skilled enough workforce to produce the guns. That was basically a quote that he had in the newspaper explaining why they were leaving Daytona or wherever they are in Florida. So he goes, yeah, we're moving because we can't find enough skilled workers to manufacture our pistols, or can't find the quality of craftsmen we need for our guns. So
delegating blame.
Yeah, and I'm like, you've had 10 years to engineer a better pistol, you know. And now maybe they did. Because, like I said, the barrel was a different design on my new one versus my old one. So I don't know. Which sucks because, you know, it's an American-made firearm, and yeah, my wife actually had a purple and black one, and she didn't have any issues with it. But I think we only put about 100 rounds through that one before we actually traded it. So
yeah.
Oh. I don't know, Psycho Camp, did I lose you on that one?
Yeah. So to answer your question.
No, you're good.
All right, man. But yeah, I was gonna say the single stack. I like my car. If you can rent one or find somebody that has one, or if you want to come out to Nebraska, we'll take you out to the range. You can shoot mine.
No, I've got a place here locally that has a range where if they have the gun in stock, you can shoot it.
Yeah, I would definitely give it a try. I love the trigger on it, and I just love how thin it is. And I mean, that was the main reason, was because I wanted something thinner than my CPX2. And even though I was going to be giving up capacity. What's that?
Was that the CM9?
I got a CT9, which is actually the cheaper version. You get one mag, and it has roller markings on the slide instead of laser engraving. But you can get another mag for $20 on eBay.
So I'm back. I got myself a Pepsi. I got a case of that Pepsi Fire. I don't know
Oh,
if you
that
guys
stuff
had
is
that.
good, man.
Yeah,
Is that spicy?
it's not spicy as in they use like chili powder or something. It's spicy because the factor that you've had red hot candy, right? Where it's just
Or
fuck
hot
yeah.
tamales, red hots.
yeah, it's just all it is just sugar and cinnamon. Well, it looks like it tastes like they took the red hot and just dissolved it in a Pepsi.
It's even kind of red. One thing I want you to do, I want you to take a swig off that and let it linger for a few seconds, and then just think it actually has a bourbon or a whiskey aftertaste to it.
Yeah,
I know a
can
lot of
see
people.
that.
A lot of people actually mix it with like what hot damn or cinnamon schnapps and stuff.
It is giving me that burning sensation
You'll notice that
in the throat, like after you take a shot of bourbon. I'll give you that.
You kind of got that aged taste. Like if you've ever had Jack Daniels before, it's got that freaking whiskey aftertaste to it. I don't know. It's just weird.
Is it good?
I like it. I enjoy it.
It's good. It's not bad. It's good, but I will say it is
It's different.
It's different, and it may be an acquired taste.
It's kind of like Coke or RC, and then put some. I don't know. It's like just cinnamon. If it's
But
cinnamon,
it's cool. I like it. So
Yeah.
I just figured I'd mention that. Now, we've been talking about this, last week and this week and whatnot. But I figured we're gonna do a book of the show. So today we're going to showcase a book. It is my personal favorite. It is #1 new release in the political ideologies.
Here we go.
Travis has stated he's going to get it for his local library because they don't.
I am, and our university, which is only 40 miles away. I'm gonna have my wife, who's a librarian, there catalog a copy of it and put it on the shelf.
But it is the greatest book ever. It blew my mind. It changed my outlook on life and socialism.
As it should have.
Yeah. Now, why don't we go ahead and read some of the comments? We're going to read some of the comments.
Let's do it with an audio. We need a good audiobook voice. Okay.
So,
hey, did you check out that 1-star review that somebody wrote? Go. Who's the jerk that gave that book 1 star? Click on that 1-star review.
I'm
What is
trying
it?
to load it up. It's not loading up.
Who's
The 1-star review is a joke.
Yeah.
who wrote that? Go look at. We gotta see the 1-star review.
Sorry, no, man. Apparently, they took the 1-star reviews away.
Get out of here.
No.
Censorship
What?
on Amazon.
I'm gonna go look right now.
Let's see if we can.
Usually they allow those to fall on there because people do them as a joke, and yeah.
Sorry. Why socialism works, or why did I pay cash for this piece of shit? Should be the title. Another 1-star is just ask Venezuela. Wow.
Ooh, there we go.
Perfect so apparently the 1-stars, that's it.
They pulled it.
They pulled the 1-stars.
Wow.
Yeah. Travis commented on it, he got a copy of it. And he
All
made
right, I gotta admit
on
it. I wrote the 1-star review as a joke just to offset everybody else.
Yeah.
I wrote it in the voice of a hipster snowflake that was offended by the book.
I thought you were a hipster snowflake. You do work for the public school system.
No, I'm not a hipster snowflake. Not at all. Farthest thing from it. I mean, I wear a scarf because if I don't, I'll freeze in the wintertime. It's not because it's a fashion statement. Yeah, it's because I don't want to die going to school. Okay.
But
all right. Yeah.
it is a good book. It's #1 in political ideologies. You should check it out. I'll give you a preview of what it looks like. So here's the preview.
Here we go.
Why socialism works. And here's what the first page says.
That's awesome.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Second page. Third page. Doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
That's so groundbreaking. It's so radical and so wow.
Somebody bought that book thinking that they were going to get culturally enriched.
And they found out otherwise.
Isn't it a #1 bestseller right now? It's one of those things where you ask yourself, why didn't I buy this? Why didn't I write this first?
Yeah. Yeah. You can get it.
#1 new release. There you go. In political ideologies.
See right there.
A company had to approve that, right?
Oh, they said right now is the perfect environment to release a book like that. I mean, hell, you can get the Kindle book version of it for $2.99 if you want to save some money.
Honestly, I would get the Kindle book just to help the guy out. because he's a starving author, and he had sound judgment and sound arguments for this book. It
was a starving author, man. He's got the #1 bestseller on Amazon. He's rolling in the bucks right now. So he's probably got a couple milli. Yep.
Let's hope so. All right.
Yep.
So that was the book of the episode. So from that we will move on. We don't have any questions tonight. I don't really have anything else to say. So unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. Anything?
No, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Contemplating my next gun purchase, but other than that, All
right. Well,
check out the rewatch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
With that, I'm going to end it with the C308.
Ooh, Despop?
No, not a Despop.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. Watch it go off.
Nah. It's just when you flap when you set the charger handle in place, and then all you do is just you flip it down, and it goes all the way forward. So, anyways, so with that, thank you for listening. I'm Nightstrike. Thank Cycle Camp, Jimmy James, and Travis P11 for showing up this evening and contributing to the conversation and helping us get it over with. So, again, thank you for listening. Don't miss Hit or Miss every Tuesday nights, 9:00. And as always, we'll see you next week. So, thank you for listening. This was Hit or Miss.